guys, this is LaQueen Terry Battle here, coming from Boston, Massachusetts. Just saying hello and greetings and shout out to all my friends and family here. I'm coming from the central of Boston, Massachusetts, here at the campus of MIT and Harvard University. So shout out to all my friends and family back home in New York, Southside Chicago, LA, South Central Los Angeles, and South Dallas. So shout out to all my family, friends, and members. So I am here in Boston, Massachusetts, on the campus of MIT, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, trying to give some report and going through a lot of thought processes of what's going on right now with the COVID-19 coronavirus. And so pretty much everybody here it has affected the entire world. As you see, there's a globe in front of me, and pretty much it has affected the entire world. And I am in the medical field. I've been doing research as well as trying to keep my license and everything up to date, because that's what I do. I'm a medical assistant, first aid responder, as well as trying to provide assistance to those on the street as well as those in need. So I have family in computer technology all my life. My dad had his own business, Power Electronics, in Fort Worth, Texas. I have cousins that are IT. My brother, he graduated degree with the computer engineering. My dad's is computer repairman. So I've been in computers all my life, but I chose actually to do the healthcare field route. So pretty much I'm here on the campus of MIT, and there's always been a war between MIT and Caltech. Well, right now with the coronavirus, what it's affecting the global structure, it's a global epidemic. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, so how can something like this be a global epidemic and still shut down churches, shut down governments, and still banks would be open, restaurants would be open, as well as basic healthcare and hospitals. I'm thinking to myself, okay, I'm here on the campus of Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, and actually this has been a recurrent pattern over and over and over and over and over again. So with the technology wars, what was going on in the late 80s and the early 90s with Apple and Microsoft, because Microsoft founder Bill Gates just resigned from the CEO position of Microsoft, and there has always been a war between Harvard and MIT and Caltech since the early 90s, late 90s, since the early 80s. Late 80s, early 90s. It's always been going on. There's always been an issue between Caltech on the West Coast and MIT on the East Coast. But people, because of the strength of technology it is today in the new millennium in 2020, people can think, okay, kids in the elementary schools there's great scientific research for STEM research. There's great technology being done with heart disease, heart transplants, organ transplants, as well as technology has been a driving force in the medical field. So what's more important, technology or medicine? So I'm analyzing a lot of stuff, and I thought that this would be a great place to actually get down and settle down and think to myself, okay, you know what? What's more important in the world today? Is it government, is it technology, or is it health? And right now with the Trump administration and everything that has been going on in the world with this new millennium and 5G, and people actually recognizing that cryptocurrency is actually a real currency out in the world, there still needs to be a lot of issues done. But just because there's a global epidemic, I do recognize that people do need to stay inside the house. They do need to protect themselves from the outside elements as well. But still, you have to have some common sense about the situation. If this has happened, okay, so the government shut down, but the banks are still open. Are you shutting down churches because it has more than 500 people, more than 50 people? There still needs to be some common sense about the situation. Where is the common sense? Who is in charge of this? Is it still running? Good. So there still needs to be some common sense about who's in charge of the situation. What is going on? What are the side effects? What are the symptoms? What are the prognosis of COVID-19 coronavirus? And the technology wars in the early 90s, computer viruses have done this over and over and over again. The makers of computer viruses have gone into banks, have gone into governments, and shut down entire governments just because of a stupid scam, a stupid computer virus. And has there been COVID-19, a similar virus like this in the early 90s, in the late 80s? Of course there has. Of course it has. But is COVID-19 coronavirus a real illness? Is this a real illness? Is this just something made out of computers that can actually shut down shut down governments? Can a computer virus actually turn into a man-made health virus? Because they're saying the symptoms of coronavirus is you can't taste it, you can't smell it, you can't taste it, you can't smell it. So actually, can you make a computer virus and actually kill somebody? Of course you can. I mean, computers. I mean, you'd be surprised what computers can do. Computers, these 3D computers can actually make guns now just by a 3D computer printer. So the technology is changing every single day, but that still is not an excuse to take heed to the health system. The health system was built to support people's lives, to encourage productivity, to encourage productivity, and it still is the seasonal flu. I do recognize the seasonal flu right now. The flu season is still in its height season right now, right about late March, early April. So right now, the seasonal flu is still at its height, but still, we have to protect ourselves against the elements, the external elements, as well as the inside elements. To protect our mouths, cover our mouths, and do what we can. So I'm analyzing a lot of things here on the Boston campus of MIT. I still have a lot to think to myself. How can a human health epidemic control the whole world? What in the world can an influenza, a respiratory virus? How can a respiratory virus take over the whole entire world? Is that even possible? Is it even possible for a human virus to actually take hold of the whole entire world? There has to be something. Is it computer related? Is it health related? Is it science related? Is it government related? Somebody somehow has got control of the government, and this human virus right now is out of control. It is out of control. So I still have a lot more research to do. I still have to get out there. I still have to, because right now all the libraries are shut down in DC, in Chicago, in New York, and I'm here in Boston, Massachusetts, and there still is no library. There's no way I can get hold of a book. But I think that Barnes and Nobles is still open. Barnes and Noble is still open. So I have a lot of research to do. I've analyzed this. I'm going through my own past experiences as well as being available to the healthcare system, as well as being first aid, as well as putting out my resume. I still have a lot to do. It's not over. It's not over, but I still have a lot to do. And again, a computer virus taking hold of governments and closing down governments, that's nothing new. It's old business. That is nothing new. That computer virus can actually take hold and close down governments of the whole entire world. As a whole, it's not. It's old. It's old. It's old. It is so old. It is so old. It's nothing new. It is nothing new. It is so old. It's completely old. It is completely old. But at the same time, computers are building. I mean, people, laptops, Dell, Microsoft, Samsung, IBM. I mean, there's so many different technologies. So many things are being built every single day. Research. You'd be surprised what people are doing with research right now, and you would be surprised if a computer virus can actually turn into a human-made virus. It's nothing new. It is nothing new. It is nothing new because you can't breathe it and you can't smell it. It is nothing new. So this is actually my second day here in Boston today. I still have a lot to do. I can't get to a computer. I can't get to a library. I can't get to a library. I can't get to a computer, but I have my phone with me, and my Wi-Fi is very, very, very limited. So it's a beautiful day here in Boston. I actually was going to go to New York, but I took a chance out and actually want to come here and get some fresh air because it's springtime. The weather is beautiful. I have a whole bunch of my jackets right there in front of me. But again, remember, pay attention to the government, pay attention to the news, the CDC, the WHO, the NIH, your local Department of Health. Of course, they're saying the symptoms of this is more than just a seasonal flu. It's more than just a respiratory illness. But in fact, please have common sense. Have common sense. Have common sense of what you went through, what your family went through, as well as what's happening right here today in 2020. Please have common sense. At the same time, use heed and precaution with what's going on in the news as what's going on in your own local city and your own local neighborhood. Have common sense. Pay attention to the news. Pay attention to the news outlets, the newspapers, TV, as well as the president, your governor, your local city and congressman, and your neighbors. Have common sense, but still pay heed and attention to what's going on in the news. So if it's been done before, it could be done again. So if it's been done before, it could be done again. So I'm here from the campus of MIT and also Harvard University here in Boston, Massachusetts, having a great time. I love you guys. This is McQueen Battle, peace and love. Shout out to all my family, my little brother LaKeen Jemiah Harris, coming from the United States Marine Corps. Hoorah, outside of Los Angeles, California, my friend Charleston Burke, in the United States Marine Corps, and also to my Aunt Darlene Mercer, who served in the United States Army, my Uncle Manzi Clay, who served in the United States Navy, and his sons who are currently serving in the United States Navy and National Guard, my grandfather, Battle, who served in the United States Army, and also to my military family. Even though I don't get any benefits, I still serve. My military family out in Siegel Pool, Texas, outside of Fort Hood. Hoorah! United States Army Reserves and all the medical units who are currently served up and set up to take care of this COVID-19 respiratory global epidemic. And you know what? If it has been done before, it will be done again. There you go. All right. So technology is changing all around the world. We still have a lot to do. We still have a lot to learn. And just pay attention. Have common sense. Have common sense. Pay attention to your family, as well as what's going on in your neighborhood, as well as what's going on in the world. And don't let some. Just have common sense. Common sense is the most important thing to get you through what's going on. If it happened in China easily in India, they can happen here in the United States of Boston. So that's LaQueen Terry Battle. I love you guys. Peace, much love. Shout out to all my military family and all my people at Purdue University who are here in Indiana, Harold Washington College in Chicago, and Northwest Educational Institute in Houston, Texas, and the Houston Medical Center, the Chicago Medical Center, the New York Medical Center in Buffalo, Syracuse, and Albany. This is LaQueen Terry Battle. I love you guys. Peace and much love.